Hey guys, hope everybody's doing good. I was going to talk about a different subject, but I'm not up for talking about it today. So, instead I'm going to be talking about something else that's more positive and, something that makes me happy to think about, even though some of it is kind of depressing, but still, this is something I just wanted to talk about. So, anywho, this is probably going to be a long video, so if you don't want to hear me talking for a long period of time, then you might as well just click off right now. But anywho, I want to talk about, all the trips I went on, this summer and, all the other fun things we did. And, this summer, other than, the coronavirus that's been going around, I just got to say, it was definitely a great summer to remember, I mean, probably one of the best summers I've had, for most part anyways. But so let's talk about the trips we went on. So most of our trips that we went on were in northern Michigan because, my family and I, we love going up north, I mean, we live in the southwestern Michigan area and, we like to go up north quite often, it's something we enjoy doing, going to both Baldwin and then going to the Upper Peninsula. Don't mind that motorcycle I just went by. You guys probably couldn't see it. You probably heard it though. But you know, the first northern Michigan trip we went on, actually the first few northern Michigan trips we went on, we spent them at Baldwin. And while in Baldwin, we did a bunch of trail riding. And, we went to the lake a bunch, The first time we went to Baldwin, all we did was trail ride. And, you know, um, unfortunately, the day we left, the first time, the weather was absolutely crappy. And, we were going to spend the day riding trails before going back home. And the weather just kept getting bad. And it just, it just wasn't happening. It started off sunny that day, and then it just, kept getting super cloudy, so, that kind of ruined it. But it was still a good trip. Don't mind my heavy breathing, I do apologize. The reason for that is because, I'm sitting in my truck, it's not on, and I don't have air conditioning running through, so anytime I'm in a vehicle that's off, I kind of intend to uh, breathe a little heavier, but that's just the way I am. But anywho, so sorry I keep going off subject. The second trip we went on, which was, I think it was, oh yeah, it was Baldwin again, of course, And for those of you, just a side note, if you don't know where Baldwin is, it's about an hour or so north of Grand Rapids. And for Baldwin being only an hour from Grand Rapids, it might not seem like it's that far. Or, well, that might not sound far, but, the closer you get to Baldwin, the more trees there are, and, the less people there are, and the more trails there are, too. So, it's, there's a lot of decent trails to ride on, which the second time we were there, we didn't ride as many trails. I actually took my truck, which is vehicle I'm sitting in right now. This is a 2000 Dodge Ram 1500. I actually took this truck up on the second trip, and it handled the drive pretty good, Handled the drive to Baldwin just fine. Plus, I went back and forth to Ludington like 3 times, and Ludington's about 32 miles from Baldwin, so, that's quite a, add 32 like 6 times, and you'll get a decent amount of miles. And then there was one day I drove this truck all the way to Traverse City, and it just, unfortunately, the truck did not like that. I ended up, breaking a wheel bearing from that, but it was an easy fix, but anywho, let alone the subject of my truck, we mainly just hung out in Baldwin, this time more of my family came, like my uncle and them came, and then my aunt showed up a few days later, because she had to work, and then a few of my cousins came up, and my grandparents too, so, I mean, that was, that was fun. We made a lot of memories that weekend. They came up, and it was, it just felt like a moment that we thought would never end. We had such a great time. I think it was probably one of the best weekends we've had, and still to this day, it was about around 4th of July, so, I mean, we lit fireworks too at our campsite, everybody else was lighting fireworks too, and so we did it, and it was a hell of a good time, and that I actually got on video too, so, I mean, I'll probably put some of the videos that I took, and link them to the description for you guys to see if you want to see them, but it was, we lit fireworks, we even went to a fireworks show at Torch Lake. Usually the fireworks shows we go to are in South Haven, but because of how Lake Michigan has been, or something like that, and because of the coronavirus, South Haven canceled their fireworks, so we went up to Torch Lake, which is out by Traverse City and Elk Rapids. We were watching the fireworks from the Alden area, which is just off of Torch Lake, and that town is beautiful, but the day before we went home, we spent another day in Traverse City, hanging out at the lake, and I think it was east, no, it was West Arm, Grand Traverse Bay, or something like that, and, it wasn't that big of a beach, but it was still beautiful, I think it was absolutely nice. But yeah, that's pretty much the end of our second trip there. Now, our fourth trip, or damn it, I'm skipping. Our third trip was the UP, and the UP. I love the UP. It's beautiful up there. We went up to UP for about a good 3 days or so. Well, we were there. Let's see, where all did we go? Trying to remember. Hang on. Okay, I remember now, but the first day we were there, we kind of went back down to the lower peninsula, to go and visit Mackinac Falls, which is out by Rogers City, and it's not that big of a waterfall, but it's an area where you can go swimming. I got that on video too, which was really nice. I didn't go swimming myself, but I just hung out with my grandma, and that was pretty much it. My grandma and I mainly just talked and had conversations, so I mean, that was basically it. And then, we made a few other stops, like between Rogers City and Mackinac City, and, there was this one spot we stopped at. It was just off US 23, I believe. It was a little beach area I think it was called Hammond Bay or something like that, and it was nice too. And you know, it was pretty interesting. And then we spent the day at Mackinac City, and of course that bike's coming right back. So you watch. Yeah, I don't know if you guys saw that or not. I don't know if I had my phone pointed the right way, but you know, anywho, we spent the day at Mackinac City. We hit up some of the gift shops there. We also had pizza at this one place. It was called Pizza Palace, and oh my gosh, their pizza was delicious, man. I loved their pizza. But yeah, we spent the day around there, and then we came back up to our campsite in St. Ignace, and the next day we went to a few other places. We went to Castle Rock, we went to Mystery Spot, and then we went to Tequamanon Falls, which is where I got this hat from. And those places were interesting. I think my favorite place that we stopped at was Tequamanon Falls, the upper Tequamanon Falls anyways, which is the bigger falls because, you look at the nature around there and it's absolutely beautiful, like it's lovely over there, It's something, you stare at it and it just makes you want to stare at it for a long period of time, regardless if it's, an entire day or so on and so forth, But, yeah, it's beautiful, man. If you've never been to Tequamanon Falls, which is out by Paradise, Michigan, you don't know what you're missing. But, anywho, that was the end of our trip, other than we went back to Mackinac City and spent the day hitting up some of the gift shops again. Now, between the third trip and the fourth trip, we had my cousin's wedding, which, on a side note, Andrew, again, congratulations on getting married, man, Congratulations on your new wife, Ashley, like I said, it happened a few weeks back as of the time I'm making this video, but still I'm proud of you guys, Congrats to both Mr. and Mrs. Newell. I'm sorry, I can't speak today, but it's sorry, I'm losing my thoughts a little bit. It's been kind of a long day, but our fourth trip to northern Michigan, which again was in the UP, and we were actually there for about 8 days or so. And we spent the campsite we were at. It was at Lucy County Park and North Manistee Lake Campground, and there's not much there, but it's pretty peaceful. We spent most of our time at the campsite. We went swimming and everything. There was also some trails around there too. We went trail riding a bunch. And it was it was definitely fun. Unfortunately, there was one night where a bunch of us got stranded because a lot of the four-wheelers and dirt bikes kept breaking down, and then it was late at night, it's completely dark, and everybody kept getting lost, and eventually we were all able to find each other. We were stranded for about a good hour or so, and it was kind of a scary situation, as much as I can handle myself being lost, I was getting nervous myself, even though I had my dad's fiance, I had my little stepsister, and my niece and nephew with me. Still I was getting nervous because, I couldn't figure out where everybody else went. So, yeah, it was a scary situation. But, we all made it back to the campsite. It was about 2 in the morning that we got back to our campsite. So that kind of sucked. Although that night I did see a shooting star, which it was bright. It was it was a greenish color, and towards the end of it, it just kind of blew up a little bit and went into pieces, and still lit up a little bit. I don't know if any of you guys saw it, but I saw it one night. I don't remember the date of when I saw it, but we were on the outskirts of Newberry, Michigan, which wasn't too far from our camp, and that's where I saw it. So it was cool, And anything who knows, or anybody who knows anything about northern Michigan skies at night, considering they don't have as much air pollution up there, their skies are super clear. You can see shooting stars more often, and, it's just, especially during the winter time, it's pretty clear, when it's not snowing anyways, and there's no clouds. But other than that night, there was one day we went up to Munising, and then, also Pictured Rocks, which is right by Munising, and then we went to Sault Ste. Marie. We went to a bunch of gift shops. We also visited the Sulaks, which is right on the United States Canadian border, because Sault Ste. Marie is basically on the border. But we went and saw the Sulaks. We saw a ship go through, and that was awesome. I also got a video of that as well, but still, it was really cool. So, we went to quite a few places. Well, we were on our 4th trip, so that was pretty cool. But so this summer I went on a bunch of trips, my family and I did anyways, and there were some things we didn't do because of the coronavirus, and the coronavirus kind of wrecked our plans a little bit, but still, we made the best of it, I mean, I did have some family and friends who tested positive from the coronavirus, not because we were by a bunch of people, I mean, how they got it, I don't know. We weren't by any huge crowds or anything, so I don't know how we would have got it, but, all my friends and family are doing okay, I mean, nobody died, although I did have a great aunt who died from double pneumonia, so, I mean, I don't know how she got that, but, and that was back in July 18th, this past summer, so, I mean, that was kind of devastating, but, she's in a better place, I do miss her, but she's in a better place, but that's all I gotta say. Sorry this video turned out to be a super long video. I mean, I may have went off subject a bunch, and I just, like I said, I'm horrible at making short videos, like I said in one of my previous videos, so my apologies, but that's all I gotta say. Thanks for watching.